It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, happy to be here with my partners, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. In this game, we'll see the Charlotte Hornets going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, for New Orleans, they've played well of late, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Tonight, an opportunity to continue that trend. Look at the numbers DeMarcus Cousins has put up the last few seasons. Just astounding. The scoring, the rebounding. How about the defense?
Well, I think he's still one of the best true big men who plays inside the paint and as a three-pointer, but does most of his damage inside like big guys are supposed to do.
Well, you know what? You can't deal with his size and strength. That's the one thing. There's very few guys can do that. Emotionally, if he stays on course, he could be one of the greats that ever played this game. You don't believe that?
What happened?
Okay.
Time for tip-off. We send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Tell him sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. They've really been on a roll. They've gone 5-1 in their last 6 games.
And it's in your DNA. You come up against a natural rival, you're going to be a little bit salty.
Yeah, some of the fellas will say, this is just like any other game, but the truth is, nah, it isn't.
East versus West matchup here, but more than a little familiarity between these two teams, Chris.
Yeah, they don't see each other that much in the regular season, but when they do, these two teams draw plenty of attention.
Now, the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. The bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Moore in at the small forward position. And so here's Charlotte. Williams double team. Here's Howard, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams. Howard's got the first points on the scoreboard for Charlotte.
And that's Howard's comfort zone, in close near the bucket.
Here's Davis. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
There's no lack of aggression on his part. When he's got the chance to score, he'll take it.
The Hornets on offense. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
But I like that they attacked those weaknesses. They made them pay for a lackluster effort.
Clock at 6. Screen by Howard. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Rebounded by Moore. Hornets on defense now. Davis drives in. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it. And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
The vision of Cousins, seeing the lane to the bucket, open up and just attacking it relentlessly.
And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another whistle, and he's got to be careful with his foul situation.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Walker dishes to Kid Gilchrist, and Cousins comes over to help. For 3, Williams. Pelicans with the rebound. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And with the type of defense they played that day, they were able to cause a lot of mistakes.
Incredibly disruptive on that end of the floor. Got up in guys' shirts, jumped in the passing lanes. It was wild.
And so here's Charlotte following the score by New Orleans. And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's his first foul. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Rondo against Walker. There's the pick, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the threes and the twos last season for the Pelicans.
And the three-pointer was their preferred weapon. It can be a risky strategy, but it's one that more and more teams have embraced over the years.
The Pelicans have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Here's Davis, and no good that time. And the Hornets now going the other way, getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
And in their 2 matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Williams gets the bucket.
Wonderful concentration from the agile Williams. He's terrific at getting whatever shot he wants down low.
And it's more penetrating, and it's sent back by Howard. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Pass to Howard. Over Rondo, and Charlotte again with the bucket.
And Howard's release is a little unconventional, but it works. The D must pay attention to him from that range.
Here's Davis.
That athletic.
Yeah.
Wow. Jumped out of the gym.
That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. There's a screen by Williams, and Walker kicks to Williams. From deep. Again, Williams missing. For New Orleans, they've gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. And Davis throws it down.
Oh, I tell you what, that's just a solid decision from Cousins. He's very comfortable being the focal point from an offensive point of view, finding wide open teammates because of the attention he demands.
Now, here's Batum. Last game we saw him score 14. Shots good by Williams. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in.
Well, you rarely get to see a player like Batum who has such a dynamic game at the shooting guard spot. He's one of the best rebounders at his position and defenders. Terrific passer and a very unselfish player.
They now take the lead. And it's 7 points for Williams.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
The baseline J. Davis can't get that one to fall.
The defense is doing just enough to bother him on the jumper.
And Nicholas Batum, the bucket on the assist by Howard.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Yes, that goes in. Davis has got 12.
He has put forth an outstanding effort on offense this quarter. He will need to keep it up if they really want to cut into this lead.
Nobody near Williams. Kept alive, Howard. Holiday with the defensive effort.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots, we knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
And that one falls for Davis. And both free throws good for Davis.
And looking at this Charlotte roster, really the strength of it is their perimeter play. A good collection of dynamic playmakers and shooters from that point guard to small forward position. They are the bulk of this team's offensive threats.
Now, here's Howard. 14 points from him the last game against Sacramento.
And his shot blocking. If that isn't a man amongst boys, you could just throw the phrase out of the window.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line. Greg, the Hornets were strong outside, but weak inside. I guess they've addressed that weakness, going for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they went out and got what they felt could be an anchor on that front line. And listen, he's going to provide that rim presence that they lacked a season ago. The question is, can he also give them some punch offensively?
And that one falls for Cousins. And Chris, as the season gets going, a lot of players start having lengthy road trips. Just how hard is it to play on the tail end of, say, a 5, 6, or a 7-game trip?
It's terrible. You miss the comforts of home, sleeping in your own bed, eating your own food, your habits, being on the road. You just miss all the good things about home, your family, and things like that. But you have to love these trips. One, if you're a player, because they set up time for chemistry. It's the most time you get to spend with your teammates. You really get to bond and get to know who each other are. Secondly, it takes a toll on that team. It wears you down. It sets you up for failure when you come home. And what's great about that is every team has to go through it.
Right.
So this is the NBA. It has to be the hardest league, the hardest schedule. And so it's tough, but, that's what we do as players in this league. And so I love it because everyone does it. And I've always said it, sports is so fair because it's unfair to us all. And that's an unfair part of the game, but you got to get through it. You got to battle it, and you got to get through it.
Now, here's Walker. Following the miss by Anthony Davis. Batum wide open. He fires. Misses the three, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Here's Davis. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Davis has got 16.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Davis with the double team. Kid Gilchrist, the pass to Howard. Rondo against Walker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Charlotte no good that time either. Pelicans leading by 3. Davis drives in.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Walker against Rondo. On the wing, Batum. Knocks it loose. Batum's gone 1 of 3 from the field here. Davis kicks to Holiday. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And you can sense they're starting to take charge here.
Yeah, and it goes beyond the small lead that they've built. They really captured the momentum.
Now, here's Batum. Right now, he's averaging 11 points a game, and it's out of bounds to the Pelicans.
A moment now to see the numbers for Kemba Walker. 17th in assists, and he's right up there in the top 20 in scoring. Certainly a force to be reckoned with offensively.
And how good is he at distributing the basketball? My goodness, pick and roll, drive and dish, in transition. He's been dominant all season. Batum for 3. Another miss by Batum.
His percentage from the field is not very strong this quarter.
They get it back, and Davis puts it in.
This score will be very different without his offense. He's been terrific.
And Walker kicks to Batum. And stolen by Cousins. Here's Holiday. Here's Davis. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Davis has got 22 points.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And ooh, he just jams it right over Dwight Howard. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Right off the opening tip, they've been relentless. And this style of play can be hard to come back against.
So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with the team who's committed to him.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for Howard. Johnny O'Bryant comes in for Williams. Bacon, he's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Lamb in there for Nicholas Batum. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Anthony Davis. Darius Miller comes in for Ejuan Moore. Clark, he's checked in for Drew Holiday. And Nelson is subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Here's Walker, following the score by New Orleans. Here's O'Bryant, up and in on the layup.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Here's Cunningham. Here's Cousins. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And they've done the job on the offensive glass.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And Walker strikes a nice balance between scoring and finding his teammates. That time for a wide open bucket.
Took him no time at all on that one. Cunningham's got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
And now we'll go to David Aldridge, who spoke with Steve Clifford. David.
Thanks, Kevin. He told me that when you're playing against a team as good as they are inside, you have to stop the easy looks. He said if they can keep them out of the paint, they'll be in good shape to win. We'll see, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And it's the Hornets with the ball, following the score by New Orleans. He feeds it to Clark. Over Walker. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Yeah, second chance points, a huge issue right now. They're getting steamrolled inside.
To the wing on the left, fires from deep. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Well, the shooter of Walker's caliber, you can't allow him to shoot with his feet set.
And then Cunningham with the dunk.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Yeah, you got to love it. Everything's working. Offense, defense, already a big lead.
Now here's Lamb. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. Here's the screen to the middle. And the basket by Kaminsky.
Such an advantage for Kaminsky. He can finish inside with either hand.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cousins. And as always, the mid part of the NBA season, quite a grueling part of the schedule. Right now, let's check out how the standings are shaping up in the East. To take a look at the Celtics, they're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And, of course, Charlotte just way behind.
And checking out Charlotte, they haven't made any of the strides they were hoping to see prior to the season. Again, hanging around at the bottom of the standings.
This is just not a team that is positioned to be very good at all. Now, look, the players are doing their best out there, but they simply just don't have the right mix of players nor the execution to get it done yet.
Now, here's Walker. Following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins. Walker the pass to Bacon. The tray. Nelson with the rebound.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Shots good by Miller.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
Hornets trail by 16. Passes it to Bacon. Fires from the wing. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Man, low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
The Pelicans have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3. First one falls for him. And the Hornets making a change here. Monk's checked in, and a change for the Pelicans. Omer Ashik, he's checked in for DeMarcus Cousins. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Hornets trail by 18. Here's Monk. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game, and that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. And Lamb kicks to Monk. No good with the triple. 2 on the clock. And it's Nelson. That time on the assist by Clark. And the Pelicans lead by 20.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Oh, okay, you've done your job so far, but the question is now, can they sustain this level of energy? There's still a lot of game to play.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll return shortly. And Dwight Howard, a lightning rod figure around the league, subject to a lot of criticism, but he says he takes comfort in playing the game he still loves.
Basketball, this is my passion, on the court, it's my sanctuary. I want to have fun. The reason I play is to win championships. I take this game very serious.
It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning passion to win a championship. He's been in the finals, and this is a guy that's got still a lot to shoot for, he feels, in his career.
It's a great point, Kevin. And the challenge for Dwight is how to balance how serious he is and how passionate he is with having that fun on the court that he's after.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a comfortable margin for the Pelicans here, guys.
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Right, and as the defense collapses, that opens up inside-out opportunities. Productive first quarter.
We've got Kaminsky, Jeremy Lamb out there with Monk, and it's Bacon in at the small forward. So that's the group out there for Charlotte.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas. And he just elevates and powers in the one-hander.
Textbook. And Lamb kicks to O'Brien, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
He is a fantastic athlete for a power forward. Whatever he lacks in height, he makes up for it with hops.
And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper, you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary. That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. And the 3 off target.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And the shot goes in. Clark's got 4 points in the quarter. Hornets trail by 20. And Lamb kicks to Kaminsky. Pass to Bacon. The dish to Lamb. Monk, no one around him. The three-pointer, no good. The Pelicans have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second quarter. The baseline J. Here's Ashik. Down it goes. His third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
And Ashik is relentless in how he pounds the glass. A long-armed 7-footer who judges misses well.
Charlotte calls timeout. And Chris, I know you started doing a podcast, Fearless or Insane, with Chris Webber, an opportunity to have some meaningful conversations. What's that been like?
It's been great, Kevin. I've gotten a chance to talk to some friends, some mentors like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've gotten to speak to him about what it was like playing for Wooden, what it was like coming up in the crazy 60s in that time. And, you know, he's such a thoughtful and a great individual. So to hear his stories about he and Muhammad Ali, he and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these great figures is just wonderful. I also got to speak to track legends John Carlos and Tommy Smith, who in the 1968 Olympics, we've seen them kind of protest when they put their fist up in defiance and kind of put their voice out for the voiceless. And I got to talk to them about how tough of a moment that was. Did they know the sacrifice that they were making? What happened, the backlash to what happened? And then all these years later, do they feel kind of vindicated that we're showing them so much love and people around the world appreciated what they've done? So we try to just discuss fearless or insane. You know, they say insane is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, where these guys put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And they kind of knew that it necessarily wouldn't change the arc of justice, but they felt that they had to do it. And so it's just some cool conversations with people and athletes that were much more than an athlete. And I've learned a lot, and it's been a cool podcast.
And the Hornets making a change here. Kid Gilchrist has checked in, and the call will be against Darius Miller. That's his first foul. Lamb with the ball, and it's Nelson picking him up. And stolen by Miller.
Wow, he was one step ahead of the defense there. Brilliant work coming up with the takeaway.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
Monk's shot's good.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
And he comes up with the deuce. Ashik's got 8 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. I guess I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Kevin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. The first one falls.
And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Howard's checked in for Frank Kaminsky. Williams comes in for Johnny O'Brien. And it's Batum in for Jeremy Lamb. Both free throws good from Holiday. Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
The Hornets shooting their first free throw of the night.
And when you look at that free throw percentage on the season, they're right around 73%.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass. And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Yeah, talent in this league has it so that now pretty much every team can push the pace. You have to get back on defense.
Here's Monk following the score by New Orleans. Howard with a screen on Nelson. Over in the corner, Williams. Offline with his three.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. The offensive rebound.
And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
Oh, you're exactly right. It's simple arithmetic. More boards means more possessions, means more opportunities to score. Simple arithmetic.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist following the shot by Jameer Nelson. Monk kicks to Howard. Howard draws the double. Outside Williams. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Howard's got 3 assists tonight.
Well, during his career, Williams has been up and down shooting the three, but you at least got to crowd his airspace, not let him get a free look when he's firing.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
Well, if you're his teammate, you love this right now because all you have to do is focus on finishing.
Poked loose. To the paint. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
He's one of the guys having a solid game for them, but as a whole, they've been lacking.
And Ashik throws it down.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here.
Timeout.
Charlotte calls timeout.
Oh, well, when you go up against the Hornets, you know that they're going to battle you for rebounds. Great job of closing out possessions. They rarely get pushed around on the glass.
Hornets are a strong rebounding team, Chris. It makes sense when you look at this roster. A lot of strength at every position.
Oh, yeah. Well, and adding Dwight Howard can only help with that. Every time the shot goes up, he boxes out. He's not afraid to get into the paint and battle for position.
Kemba Walker's checked in for Charlotte. New Orleans also making some changes. Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Cunningham. Etuan Moore comes in for Miller. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Nelson.
As he continues to rack up the misses from three-point range, he still appears undeterred. He's going to keep firing from out there.
Holiday gets the bucket.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Batum against Holiday. Screen by Howard. Open shot, Batum. Batum with another miss.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy.
Here's Holiday. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Holiday's got 6 points in the quarter.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Well, when you're at a size disadvantage, sometimes the mid-range is better than inside. You get a little more space. You don't allow the shot blocker to get up on you. And also, you can use your handles and your quickness. No three-pointers for him in the second quarter yet, but he did have one in the first.
The leaner. And off the front iron, and in it goes. And it's now 26 points for Davis.
And the soft jump shot there of Davis, you got to respect his perimeter game.
Walker dishes to Kid Gilchrist. Davis with the double team. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. And a chance now to review the shot chart for New Orleans.
And you look at the chart, and you see they have done a lot of their damage in the mid-range game. So often teams will try to force everything at the hoop or only rely on the three to score, but they have seen what the defense is giving them and taken every open look they found.
Batum for three, 6 to shoot. From deep, Williams. Pelicans pull it in.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Well, you hear that? No, you don't hear anything. They silenced the crowd with this big lead. No sign that they're letting up.
And so here's Charlotte following the score by New Orleans. But they'll get another chance. Left side, Batum. Charlotte no good that time either.
Now, he doesn't look like himself right now. Nothing is going his way.
Rondo passes to Ashik. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 6 assists now in the game. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Howard kicks to Walker. Charlotte moving it around. Batum dishes to Howard. It's stolen by Rondo. And it's Moore penetrating, and that one drops for him. Moore's got his first bucket in this one.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
There's a screen by Williams. To the inside, here's Kid Gilchrist, and Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
Now here's Batum. There's the pick. Howard, the pass to Walker. Holiday brings the double team. Batum for three, and Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
He's the key if they're going to make a run. He's been way off this quarter.
Holiday gets the bucket.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Oh, that's why you see them flexing a little bit. They're feeling good about how they've dominated.
Now here's Walker. A 26-point game for him in the win against Sacramento.
And a beautiful two-way game for him, blocking a couple of shots, giving the opponent something to think about.
Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. Let's take this chance to bring you now the hottest shooters from downtown this month. Well, you look at Williams, a dangerous player from three-point land, a great talent with a great release.
Sometimes a three-point shooter gets into that rhythm and just keeps carrying it over. That's been the case for him the entire month.
Bacon, he's checked in for Charlotte.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Walker against Rondo. Screen by Howard. To end the drought. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Bacon's got 5 now.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
And Davis puts it in.
Yeah, you got to respect the awareness level of Rondo. When his teammates have a clean look at the basket, the ball gets there without hesitation.
Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with it.
And Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. And the ball travels out of bounds. Last touch by Kid Gilchrist.
All right, a chance here to take a look at the numbers for Moore. How's the last month of basketball been for him? getting around 12 points a game, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And, guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Well, yeah, lately he's been overachieving a little bit. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things to come.
And he gets it to go.
He played a very solid first quarter, and now he's taking it up a notch here in the second.
Charlotte shooting 43% from the floor. Davis against Walker. And a wide open look for Lamb. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Lamb's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Rejected by Walker. Here's Bacon. 8 points for him. Walker's shot is off. Davis dishes to Moore. He kicks it to Cousins. Over Kaminsky, and Cousins gets it to go. Cousins has got 9 points.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Dishes to Lamb. They set the pick. Bacon the pass to Kaminsky. Here's Bacon. Tries a 3. Anthony Davis with the rebound. The drive by Cousins. Right through the D for the layup. He's got 11.
And when Cousins has some room to work with close to the basket, he knows how to deliver.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. New Orleans on top, running away with it. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford. What was the biggest problem for your guys in the first half?
Well, you know what? We're a defensive team first, and we've been good defensively. We've been organized. We weren't that in that first half, and that's what we got to concentrate to get the game going back our way.
See if you revert back to your form in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. A tremendous game we're seeing from Anthony Davis. He had 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 block. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. Kenny, your thoughts? How the Pelicans are playing?
Well, it has been an electric performance. These guys were firing on all cylinders. They came out aggressive, going after those rebounds, and they were piling it up. I think they wanted to send a message with their physicality, and they're going to be nearly impossible to stop if they're playing that way.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Charlotte.
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
The scene at night here in Uptown Charlotte, where we welcome you back to the action. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
And I'll tell you, his work on the blocks in that first half, really impressive.
Oh, yeah, especially how he established great position and showing some nice footwork and really read how the defense was playing.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Moore in at the 3 spot.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Here's Batum after Drew Holiday's score. And Walker kicks to Howard, feeds to Williams. Over Davis. Williams can't hit.
And as he squares up from mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Rondo, no good. The Hornets shooting for the game at 42%. Over in the corner, Batum. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Batum's got 6 points.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Moore with the bucket.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, look, when you're giving up that type of height, you use your quickness. It's just that simple. And it's also a matter of skill.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. Rondo with the steal. Shoots over Walker. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line. And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Moore. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Moore's got 4 points in the quarter. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area. And every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Davis. The drive by Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
And beginning to pull away. Really effective play calling halfway through this one.
Well, they figured out what's working, and that's what they're going to keep hammering on.
Here's Batum following the score by New Orleans. It's tipped, and that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. And we've watched a pretty interesting season unfolding in the Western Conference, guys. Let's check out the standings here. You look at Golden State. They've been in peak form as we've watched them play some tremendous basketball with an eye toward the postseason. And checking out New Orleans. Right now, they're 5 spots below them.
And I think for New Orleans, they were a team that no one knew quite what to make of entering the season. But as the year's gone on, it's become clear they're legit contenders.
And I don't think they knew exactly what they were either at the beginning of the season. But as they've gotten more familiar with one another, their chemistry has really developed over time.
So it's the Hornets now, following the score by New Orleans. It's stolen by Davis. And here we go with Davis heading to the hoop. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Now here's Walker. He's a solid producer, averaging nearly 22 points a game. He dishes it to Kid Gilchrist. Howard setting the pick for Kid Gilchrist. Batum for 3. And the rebound goes to Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got his 3rd rebound on the night. From the corner, and Holiday with the basket on the assist from Moore. Moore's got his 7th assist here tonight.
And everything they're attempting is going in. Tremendous run here in the 3rd.
Well, I don't know what they talked about at halftime, but they found a weakness in the defense.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Here are the top rebounders over the last month. DeMarcus Cousins is 2nd. In the 3rd spot, Dwight Howard.
What a rebounding show these two have put on. That's exactly the kind of effort you like to see from your bigs.
For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Williams kicks to Batum. Howard against Cousins. Second shot opportunity, and the rejection by Cousins. Here's Holiday. Tips it. Davis on the follow. Davis has got 40 points.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Walker. Williams for 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got his 9th assist in the game now. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Guys, with the Hornets' length and mobility at the 2 through 4 positions, the team switches a lot defensively. Coach Steve Clifford said, You have to deal with mismatches at times, but it makes defense simpler. With those guys, they're all big enough, strong enough, and competitive enough that they're going to battle. Kevin?
And having that kind of versatility on defense is huge. D.A., thank you so much.
Oh, Kevin, and it really only takes a couple of shots for Cousins to find his groove. He is just a phenomenal scorer.
Hornets have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. On the wing, Batum. And again, Charlotte with the triple.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
And there's the call on Howard. That'll be his second foul of the game. To the left wing, here's Cousins. And Chris, the Sacramento teams you were on were so good at passing at every position. Just what is needed to build a kind of offense that does pass the ball like that, that's as fluid as that?
Well, 2 things. You have to have the offensive system, and then I think you have to have players with the skill set. You know, you can't really be a good passer if you're not a good scorer, because everybody's just going to stay back off of you and deny their man. But when you're a pretty good scorer, everyone has to watch you just as much as they watch their man, because you're just as much of a threat with the ball as you are passing. So I would say there we had guys that really could move the ball, that really could shoot the ball, so they were a threat. And all they had to do was be kind of a decoy. Pump fake, attack the basket, draw another guy, and then pass it to a guy that's willing to shoot. Unselfishness is a big trait, too, that you have to have. Guys that like seeing their teammates score, guys that enjoy seeing their other players get involved into the game. That's really important.
Wow, what a great breakdown.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
The Pelicans have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Hornets team that, while they have added rotation players via the draft, they haven't been able to draft a star to build around yet.
Oh, well, and with the Hornets, their best pick has been Kemba Walker back in 2011. I mean, they've traded away a lot of their picks right after making them. However, that might change as they lucked out with Monk falling to them.
Both free throws good from Drew Holiday.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
Now here's Kaminsky. He's got 9. Here's Monk. Off target from 3-point range. Here's New Orleans. Here's Cunningham. Another shot, and it's laid in by Cousins. Cousins has got 19 points.
Guys, they're just getting outworked. I mean, plain and simple. It's got to be more of a collective effort to secure that backboard.
Fires the 3. No good on that one. And New Orleans will come the other way.
Their stroke has not been what they needed it to be, but looks like they're going to keep going to him.
Count it. Miller's got 10.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
There's the pick. And Lamb kicks to Walker. Kaminsky dishes to Lamb. Out to the wing. Shot clock at 6. And again, the Hornets missing. Well, for New Orleans, shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. And he makes that one. 21 points here for Cousins.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
In the corner, it's Monk. They can't stop the run with that one.
And he has been ice cold from beyond the arc here since halftime, and he continues yet to fire away. He has got to tone it down if he wants to help his team.
Charlotte shooting the ball at 42%. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Launches a three. Miller grabs the miss. Miller's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Can he keep it going? Here's Cunningham. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
Nice work to get good position inside. You just can't quite get as good a look as he wants.
Kicks it to Monk. There's the three. Buries it from three-point range. Monk's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Charlotte. Here's Nelson. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. Miller's got 3 assists tonight. Charlotte shooting around 40% in the third. Maybe settling for some less than ideal looks out there. Kaminsky sets the pick for Lamb. From deep, Walker. And another 3 for Charlotte.
Walker's quickness, it enables him to create a lot of shots off separation, off the dribble, coming off those screens.
The feed to Cousins. Holiday left side. Over Lamb. The shot by Holiday, no good.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Well, sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
Now Holiday after Jeremy Lamb's three-pointer that didn't go. And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession. Bacon, he's checked in for Walker. Ian Clark's checked in for New Orleans. Now Monk, 15 points in the game. Puts it up from 12. Lamb, good. Lamb's got 5 points so far.
Such a good in-between game. Lamb with the natural instincts for mid-range, plus the pure touch on the shot.
That is ferocious.
You said it. That was ferocious. Here's Monk. The Pelicans make their last shot. Kaminsky misses. And here is Cousins. He's got 23. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. O'Brien's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And there's the pass to Bacon. No good with the triple. Well, for New Orleans, shooting 71% all in all in this one. They've been brilliant offensively. And there's Miller, good that time on the assist by Clark. Clark's got 3 assists in the game. Monk, the pass to O'Brien. He feeds it to Lamb. The dish to Monk. There's Bacon. Charlotte, no good that time either. Here's Clark, covered by Lamb. Cousins, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Great hustle from Cousins there. He never stops working on that offensive glass.
Charlotte shooting around 41% on the night. Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. Just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Here's Lamb. He's got 5. The shot by Kaminsky. Nobody around. No good from outside. Here's Cousins. Rebounded by Kaminsky.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now, here's Monk. He's got 15. O'Brien, no good. The drive by Cousins. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Kaminsky's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Bacon, the pass to Monk. Here's Kaminsky. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Here's Moore. Good, and it's Cousins picking up the assist. Cousins has got assist number 8 here in this one already. Nelson with the steal. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Here's Moore. Monk grabs the board. A fast break now for Charlotte. Here's Bacon. Hits it from three-point range. Bacon's got 11 points.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first 2 quarters, though.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans, able to put on a show for the ages. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. We've got more in store for you right after this. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Hey, let's keep it up, guys. Let's keep running, though. We can get out in the open court and run all we want, all right?
Alvin Gentry satisfied with some of what he's seeing, but would like his guys to pick up the pace.
And there have been some opportunities in transition that they have yet to capitalize on. It may have cost them some points.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. They've got Michael Carter-Williams. Aiken is out there with Kaminsky. And it's O'Brien in at the power forward. So that's the group out there for Charlotte. Graham with the ball. Pass to Carter-Williams. He kicks it to Graham. That 3 off the mark.
He finds a major hole in the D beyond the arc. He still can't cash in on it.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
So many fast breaks now ending the three-point shot. Good to see them taking it to the rack.
And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Carter-Williams with it. He's picked up by James. Pass to Bacon. Shot clock at 5. Over Moore. Bacon's shot is off. For New Orleans, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Chris, as we all know, you grew up in the Detroit area. It's a town that has seen glory days and hard times. Talk about what it means to you to come from Detroit and what you see in the future for the Motor City.
Well, it means everything to me to be a Detroiter. I think that's what made me successful in my career, is that I took on the heart of the city and the fact that it's a hard-hat town, a blue-collar town, and you have to earn your keep and you have to wish positive for the future. And so it's been great coming from there, and it's hard times being from there. You know that we're resilient, and so it's great to see positive energy enter back into the city. It's great to see the Pistons play in the city for the first time in over 20 years, and so I see the future is bright for Detroit because Detroiters are always there. And as long as we have the people, everything else will be great.
You and I broadcast the last game in the Palace, and I'm wondering what you think the impact will be with the Pistons, as you just talked about, in their brand new building.
I think the impact would be great, but for fans. You know, when I was younger, I wanted to see the city. I wanted to see our team play, and I only lived a few miles from downtown, but about 30 or 40 miles from the Palace. And so I'm happy that the kids that supported the team, that dreams about being a Piston one day, I'm glad they finally get to go to a game. I'm glad that Detroit finally gets to really call the Pistons their own. What is it going to do? It's going to infuse positivity, and so hopefully for everyone, it's a positive environment.
And he makes the first. And the NBA game is evolving, Chris, you know that. And if you were starting back at square one, say, and trying to develop your skills to prepare yourself for a pro career, is there anything you do differently to prepare yourself for how the game is being played now?
That's a great question. You know, I remember playing in Washington, and I shot over like 35% from the three-point line. And I remember in the paper they were saying, you know, we don't need big fellas to do that. So I got right back in the post. And so the game has changed so much. And so I would really say that I would balance the work that I did in the post with outside the post. I would just make sure that I would continue to stretch the floor as far as three-pointers, to give guys room to drive. And I would have definitely continued to work on my ball handling, maybe where a picker could have screened for me, and then I could have been the initiator, since at most times I was kind of that point forward. But for the most part, no, I would have tried to put the same effort in, but definitely with different skill sets. you get to play differently now. You know, when we think about it, I don't think Larry Bird got to shoot 2 3-pointers a game. Imagine if he would have got to just let 7 go. You know, I don't know what we would ask him, except would you have to ice your wrist after games a little bit more because you would have been able to shoot more. So I think the freedom would have been fun, but I don't think I would have had to prepare any differently.
It's good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
They double him with James. From deep, it's Clark with the rebound. The Pelicans have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
James against Carter Williams. Here's O'Bryant, and a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in.
And when you're open, Carter Williams will find you. He knows his role well.
Here's Hasek, and plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And the foul goes against Charlotte. Going back to your playing days, Chris, you were drafted by the Magic but traded on draft day to the Golden State Warriors. If you had suited up for the Magic alongside Shaquille O'Neal, that would have been something.
Oh yeah, I would have tried to. You know, I think I would have been the first Westbrook. That was my goal. If I was playing with Big Shaq, just do your job, and I would have averaged a triple-double easily. I would have averaged a triple-double. When you look at Dennis Scott, that would have been on the corner, Big Shaq up top, and that pick and roll right there. You're going to have to guard me or him, and I didn't mind throwing it up to a big fella. I love seeing people dunk from alley-oop, so that would have been fun. I would have tried to have Shaq break a backboard every single night. But hey, can't go back in time, man.
Marvin Williams is checked in for Johnny O'Bryant. And so Hasek nails both of them.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
They double him with James. Williams kicks to Carter Williams. Pass to Bacon. There's a screen by Williams. Back to Carter Williams. And that one, good.
Look, Carter Williams is a fantastic feel for inside the paint. Defenders have a tough time dealing with his size.
Here's Hasek. Good D by Howard. The Hornets have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. They get a hand on it, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Hasek. And it's Omer Hasek with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Chris, you look at the league right now, how different would you say it is from when you played? And if there are a lot of differences, do you like the changes?
The NBA is much different from when I played. When I played, if you shot a jumper from the 15-foot range free throw line, they criticize you as a big fella. Now you have to be able to space the floor. If you were a big fella and led the break back then, they criticize you. Now you have a guy like Durant who is 6'11". So the game has changed from rules. It was so much more physical at the time. It was a slower pace. But, you know, that was then. I love the way that the game is now. I love that players have more freedom. I love that the pace is faster. You don't have to look back at your coach to have a play called every time. The trust is put in these players' skill sets. And so I love it, man. Anytime you can see Harden go to work, Durant go to work, Curry go to work, Westbrook go to work, LeBron go to work, Irving go to work, and just watch them play in an open offense, man, it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I like the changes, and it was fun when I played as well.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Graham kicks to Howard. Dishes it to Carter Williams. The pass to Bacon. Back to Carter Williams. And again, Charlotte with the triple. The Pelicans shooting nearly 70% from the floor. They are putting on a clinic offensively. Shot good by Diallo.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Carter Williams, the pass to Bacon. Over Cook. Bacon's shot is off.
Well, Kev, I'm not sure if it's because he's shooting on the opposite side of the floor this half, but he just can't buy a bucket.
Putting on a clinic this quarter. I mean, what a tremendous outburst scoring-wise.
And so here's Charlotte. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. And that'll be the final game of this 5-game homestand. Here's Graham. Feeds it to Williams. Wide open look. Offensive rebound. Graham dishes to Carter Williams. You look back on the last 5 off seasons or so, Chris, and there are usually huge names that change teams. LeBron, Durant, the first names that come to mind. As you went through the free agency process, how much of an influence did your agent or any sponsorships play in your role in that decision in picking your new team?
Yeah, I think every relationship with the player and their agent is different. For me, I wanted to go back to the place that I felt that was loyal to me. I wanted to go back to Sacramento because there had never been a small market team. I felt a really small market team that won a championship. And I saw Karl Malone try for all of those years. I saw Stockton try for all those years. Reggie try for all those years. And so I really wanted to be one of the first to kind of bring that back to the city. So my agent, my shoe company, no one could have said anything to take me away from that. That was a personal mission that I want, and I knew what I was dealing with at that time. But I think for other guys it's different. Some guys, want more commercials. They like to be in a bigger market. Some guys don't want that, and they're happy at staying under the radar like a Tim Duncan as long as he's winning. So I think for every guy is different, and I really believe that you have to make that decision for yourself and your family first, because if you do that, then the fans wherever you go will be much happier because you want to be there. You're not just buying time there.
And both free throws good for Williams.
When you watch the Hornets play, it seems like they play with a chip on their shoulder. I mean that in a good way. They play like they have something to prove. They have a very self-driven team. Great work right there on the inbounds play, getting the bucket before the D has time to react.
Screen by Howard. Stone kicks to Monk. And the basket by Stone. Chris, as you said, win or lose, you know that this Hornet team is going to battle you for all 4 quarters. They don't give up.
Well, a lot of that camaraderie has developed on this roster because of that. They know they don't have superstars and big names, but it doesn't deter them. They know they have a small margin of error.
He dishes it to Howard. Here's Bacon. Stone kicks to Monk. Williams from outside. It's hauled in by Diallo.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
A baseline J. Here's Hasek. No good. Shot missing. Great D that time from Howard. Here's Bacon. Covered by Miller. Stolen by Hasek. And there's Miller. That's good on the assist by Hasek. Hasek's got 4 assists now tonight.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Kicks it to Monk. There's the triple. No good that time. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. Here's Diallo. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Now, here's Monk to the right side. Shoots a 3. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. Clark's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Well, that's where they have the advantage tonight. They're just a better team in transition.
Stone passes to Howard. Here's Bacon. Lets the 3 fly, and that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Bacon's got a pair of 3s here in the 4th quarter for Charlotte. Here's Diallo. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That's on Marvin Williams. And we know this league is enjoying great success. The Players Union going into last season created a program, Chris, to fund health insurance for all retired players with 3 or more years of service.
Well, I'm proud of our Players Union. I hope that other sports take lead. you know, you take care of those, they come before you. That's one thing in the NBA we always know and the players will always respect. That's why it was a unanimous vote by the Players Association.
Take a break.
It definitely was a proud moment. I'm proud of my NBA brothers.
First free throw is good. And every player out there has a story about falling in love with the game. Chris, when did you fall in love with basketball? And what was it like playing basketball as a kid?
Wow, it's so hard to remember when you first fall in love with basketball. There's so many great moments and great stories that you hear, but probably playing on the playground and seeing all the guys laughing and hearing the music and hearing the guys say check up and next game and smelling the sweat and seeing guys play physical. That's probably what it was. And then being able to play at a great gym called St. Cecilia in Detroit and then watch all the other players that played before us come in, the Isaiahs, Magic Johnson, Spencer Haywood, Terry Durant. I mean, you get to watch these guys play. Derek Coleman, Steve Smith. I could go on all day. Mark Makins, Terry Mills. I could just keep going. It was so fun watching these guys play. So, to me, I fell in love with it as a kid. But every instance, every memory that I have made me fall in love with it that much more. How can you not fall in love with the greatest game ever played?
Well said.
Shooting two.
The first free throw is good. And so Asik nails both of them.
Wow, he didn't really make a concerted effort in the first to get some free throws, but now all that has changed. Much more active.
Here's Diallo. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Diallo. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. One thing that I think many players and certainly many other coaches, Chris, in the NBA love about Steve Clifford is his brutal honesty. He will pull no punches with you.
Yeah, reporters just can't throw cliche phrases at him during the press conferences or he'll dismantle them. The frankness he has with the media and players is one reason players like playing for him.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
And O'Brien gets it to go.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Stacks on stacks on stacks. They're looking to stack up some points. They've gotten into a nice groove from out there.
Inside. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Going to the line, Johnny O'Brien, shooting
2. 2.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second.
And he wanted all of those, trying to fight their way back into this.
Here's Hasek. And the layup's good off the glass. Hasek's got 16 points here in the second half.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Well, he's extremely accurate. Here, coming down the stretch, trying to see if he can close this one out.
Here's Monk. It's hauled in by Diallo. Well, for New Orleans, shooting the ball with incredible accuracy. 68% so far. Count it, good.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Pelicans.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so all the hard work here tonight converted into a tally in the win column. It'll be number 26 on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Anthony Davis.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel. And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Oh, yeah, this is a nice run here, but too little too late. And deep down, I think they know it.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Wow, this is just a huge road win. These guys banded together. Just an awesome performance.
The feed now to Stone. Clock at 6. And the call will be against Darius Miller. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And maybe not as highly touted as some other guards that went before him, but Malik Monk can be scary on the floor. He can get hot like no other, and once he's dialed in, the points just seem to flow.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Guys, what's your take?
And you just have to avoid silly fouls here, guys. Defend with caution, maybe get ready to make some free throws. If they can do that, they'll be looking really good here.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. Free throw drops for Monk. And Greg, as you said, Monk has that ability to take over with his shooting.
I mean, Monk looks to get going with his scoring at all times, and he's just got that shooter's mentality where all shots are good shots. That can be a positive and a negative, but I prefer he have that aggressive mentality when it comes to scoring the basketball. There's a quiet confidence that Monk seems to play with. You can see he just feels like nobody can guard it. Kid just plays with an edge.
He feeds it to Kaminsky. Hits it from three-point range.
I like the bounce pass there. He's getting creative.
Here's Rondo. Good on the 13-footer.
No doubt about that. It's a bonus anytime you can get Rondo to knock down those contested jump shots. Great focus there on the finish.
Here's Stone. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Anthony, tell us the focus for the team coming into the game tonight.
Well, before we started the game, Coach came in and told us that we knew what we had to do. We were trying to stop a lot of their actions, and, our biggest focus for the game was guard the ball. That's what we did coming out of that timeout and never looked back.
And it led to a win. Thank you for your time, Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. See you next time.